it. So I just tell my truth, and some people don't like it. I don't care.
There you go. Well, give us your truth on the situation for the economy. Everybody's trying to figure out where we go from here, what happens with interest rates. You spend a lot of time in the U.S., obviously, as well, so there's a separate narrative there. But what's your assessment of what's going on right now?
Well, I read a great op-ed piece yesterday in the Globe and Mail by Dan Davio, the CEO of Canaccord, and I thought he hit the mark on a really important issue for Canadians. This concept of the competitiveness of nations, the competitiveness of provinces or states. Because post-pandemic, something unique has happened. I've noticed this as an investor. Let's say you're a fantastic tech team out of Waterloo. I mean, you know, Waterloo's legendary, micro-robotics, and you want to raise $200 million for your startup. Now, as an investor, with the proposed changes to the tax landscape of Canada, which is a policy decision that, you know, the country has to make, you have to think about this. Why would I nexus the headquarters of that new hot startup, that growth company? This was Davio's point. Why would I leave it in Ontario where the taxes are no longer going to be competitive? Why wouldn't I just move that to Texas or to Florida or to North Dakota if it was an energy tech deal, which is exactly what's happening because we know that 40% of the people in these companies don't have to work at HQ anymore. So you leave the tech team in Ontario or in Alberta, wherever it is, and you build the company outside of a punitively taxed jurisdiction. This is bad news for Canadians, and I think we should all wake up and understand policymakers do a lot of damage. It reminds me of the early 90s when Bob Rae came into Ontario, and we were the fastest growing software company in Ontario. We moved it to the U.S., created tens of thousands of jobs, raised billions of dollars, and not a dime of it or one job in Canada, because Bob didn't believe that it mattered. He always thought that every company, and I'm not criticizing him now, it was a long time ago, but I'm just pointing out bad policy creates unintended consequences. Ray's policy was very damaging for Ontario in real estate and tech. I see coming something very damaging for the Canadian economy.
So at the end of the day, do you think Ottawa should reconsider this capital gains tax change that's been announced?
Yeah, you know, I hate to get into partisan politics, and I don't mean to at all in this statement, but I've been very vocal about policy in Canada. I think Justin Trudeau is a wildly successful politician. I really do. I think he's a horrible manager. I think the policy that he's putting forward in these different mandates within cabinet are from mediocrity. These people don't. It's so hard to say these words, but again, it's true. And Canadians should start thinking about, I don't care who is the prime minister, but they have to have the concept that Canada is a very important economy. We're the richest country on earth by capita, by natural resources, and it feels to me, as an investor, and as I talk to foreign investors to try and attract capital here, they think our country's run by idiots. Sorry.
And so are you reconsidering some of your, I mean, you invest in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Here. Are you actively trying to figure this all out for yourself?
Yeah,
as well?
I read Davio's piece and I said he's right. I mean, now I have to contort my investment strategy. I want to invest in Canada, but I don't want to be taxed at an uncompetitive rate that makes me in the industry, you know, my cost of capital goes up. So I think what we should do is not raise, we're right now in the middle. We're right in the sweet spot. Raising taxes now is a bad idea. It's bad policy, regardless of the partisan politics. Doesn't matter. But he's right. It's going to make people like me and others say, wait a second, let's just hire those engineers up in Canada, but let's put the company somewhere else where it's competitively taxed.